John pointed me just down the street to the Cowboy Arts and Gear Museum. Here, I met with Nevada's true expert of everything that was and is Elko.
Hey,
John.
you must be Jan.
I'm Jan.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. I'm the director of the Cowboy Arts and Gear Museum. Welcome to downtown historic Elko.
This is my kind of place. Well, Jan, tell me about the museum here. How long has it been? What can I learn?
We've just been open 3 years. The building was built by G.S. Garcia.
This building was?
This very building, was built by G.S. Garcia, who was a very highly acclaimed bit spur and saddle maker and harness maker. And he came to Elko in 1893, Thanksgiving of 1893. He and his wife came from Santa Margarita, a little town over in kind of middle coastal California. Elko, even then, was a very successful, progressive ranching and mining town. So their thought was, according to family legend, they were going to come over Thanksgiving weekend, so apparently Black Friday's been going on a long time, and make some fast money and go back home. And they came to Elko, and they sold out almost immediately in the 2-day period. But they also discovered they loved Elko and moved here permanently in June of 1894. And G.S. lived here the rest of his life.
Isn't that amazing? All that history is still here, and this was his building, and it's still being used. Doesn't that amaze you?
It's part of those legacy stories and preserving history, and I'm a big history sap on that anyway. Preserving it and presenting it is the way that you keep those stories and memories, that history alive, and passing it on to the future.
Has it always been called Elko?
It's always been called Elko. There are numerous stories on how Elko got its name. And it was named by Charles Crocker, who was one of the big four. They called him the big executives of the Central Pacific Railroad. And he was a city guy. So he's coming from San Francisco and he sees these big antlered animals.
I knew it.
Down on the river bottom and grazing. And I personally think they were deer. But he thought they were elk, or elk sounded more majestic.
Better than Deero.
Deer, yeah. So he added the O for emphasis, and it became Elko.
So you can't really think of Nevada and cowboy history without thinking of horses and saddles, and I see you got a bunch. Can we take a look?
Well, we've got quite a few, so let's go take a look.
I find these fascinating, and they're really like works of art, aren't they?
I call it functional art.
Uh-huh.
And they're all, to this day, saddles, and cowboys are very traditionalist. They still go out and ride the range. They still camp in teepee tents. They will be out for months at a time, and they embrace those traditions that have endured through those old California ways from when the Spaniards first arrived in Mexico in the early mid-1500s, and it drifted northward.
They keep it all alive. Tell me about this saddle here, because this is beautiful.
Well, this is a cool saddle, and it was a championship saddle that Lou Deutsch won at a Garcia rodeo in 1937. So he was, when you're in a rodeo, and you win an event, you get so many points. And then if you're in another event within the rodeo, like you were in the saddle bronc and you won it and you won a bunch of events, and then you're in the bareback and you win some more points, and you might be riding bulls and you get some more. So whoever has the most points, this is the grand prize.
Wow. Now you see why they try so hard.
Deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So you see a very vibrant past when it comes to Elko, but you also see a very vibrant future.
People are learning to discover rural Nevada, the other Nevada, as they had for that ad campaign a while back. There's a lot of reason to come, and you could spend 3 or 4 days, and we want you to go home and tell your friends how wonderful we are.
I will do that.
Send them back.
I will do that. I will do that. Jan, thanks for your time.
Oh, well, thanks.
I
This
really
has
appreciate
been
it.
a blast visiting with you and showing off our town.